Okay guys, well, it's going to be a little bit of a different episode. I'm going to be tutoring some shader mods and everything. We'll see which one performs the best and which one I'm going to use for my Life in the Woods series. So here we go. This is the standard default, no shaders on. I do have the GL shaders in, so I should be getting some torchlight. Let's go check it out. Yep, there's the torchlight going, and that's just pretty much standard with any of the shaders. Comes with the GSGL standard shader pack. So let's try turning some of them on. We're going to start here with the Dr. Dreads, and they have the high, light, low, medium, and ultra just like all the others. So let's go ahead and start out with the high. I'm just going to go right down the list here. It's not too bad. As you can see, there's a little vignette around the screen, some black in the corners there. Kind of gives it a little bit of a cinematic feel. Let's check above ground. As you can see, some nice sun. Where is the sun right now? Whew. Some really bad sun glare though. I don't like that. It's almost like completely blots out the screen. And to tell you the truth, I like to watch the moon cycles, so let's try the next one then. And it's the light. And as you can tell, same mod, same vignette, just a little bit of a different structure to it. And these are pretty much going to be the same, just different little settings between each. As you can see, the low has a little bit more of a shadow effect. Kinda don't like how the shadows have this little roundness to them though. Makes it look a little fake. Let's check out underground with that. Looks pretty good actually. But to tell you the truth, when I'm looking at my shadow, I really don't want to see that block. So you can kinda see it moving around there. Looks a little gimmicky, so probably won't be using the Dr. Dread stuff. And then here's Mr. Meep. He's a little well known. Nice little pixel shadow, I like that. Shows very high details. And in the caves looks pretty cool. It's got like a little bit of like a pink patina, like a natural lighting to the torches. Not quite as bright though. Let's try flying up and seeing. Yeah, and I do like it outside. This looks pretty good. Gives it like a nice little vintage feel. And then Mr. Meep's other is the standard version, which is sun glare out the bejesus. And I do not like that one bit. I mean, it's nice if you're making little movie videos or something like that, but for actual play it's probably not that preferable. And then in the dungeon, or underground I should say, a little bit more light cast off. Still has that nice little pink hue. I kinda like that feature. Maybe if it was like a yellowish to it, it would be nicer. And then here's the Seuss. These are the ones that most everyone uses. They have like this nice, the natural light glows very wonderful in these. I think that's why everyone likes them. And they are pretty bright, and the clouds look freaking epic, by the way. By far the best clouds of any of these little shader packs you'll see. And it looks pretty good actually. A little more photorealistic. And then they also have the Ultra, which is a little bit of the bright set, and this is the depth of field. So for instance, if I go under a tree here, the focus points will change around. So if I stare out there, as you can see the nice little pixels on this tree, and everything around it's kind of blurry. And then as you focus out, it changes that focus. Really nice little feature. If you're going for the photorealistic, I would definitely recommend using the depth of field. This one looks pretty cool. And I found this biome, by the way. It's a lush desert. So it's freaking awesome. It's got the orange sand, which I love. And it also has these nice little features like grass and trees growing almost like an oasis feel to it. But anyways, back to the shaders. As you can see, my shadow is nice, defined, and actually even more defined. I have a skin on that has a outer lying on it, and that even picks up in the shadow in this version, which is really cool. I like that feature a lot. But the actual focus, see how my hand's so blurry? I don't like that feature. You can adjust it, but I really don't like changing the hand depth values, because it kind of makes everything else a little bit more out of focus. So I'll go ahead and set the hand depth back to 1 here. And let's try the motion blur. I think if I was going to use a Seuss, I'd probably use this one right here. It's the Ultra. Doesn't have the depth of field, so no eye focus. But this one has a little bit of a motion blur. As you can see, when I move the camera, it kind of tilts around and gives it that nice little spatial feeling to it. So this is probably the one I would use. It looks pretty good. The water looks fantastic, by the way. But these right here, these Silder shaders, are my fave. So we're going to skip them. Those are probably what I'm going to end up using, are these Silders. But let's try this. I found a Palos, Legless. And these are supposedly, this one's supposed good for if you're having problems with your PC capabilities. Say you're getting really slow frames. Yeah, this one runs at a solid 60 frame. So that's pretty good. My recording software actually locks the frame rate for me, so I don't really have to worry about everything lagging out. But this is what I don't like about this one, is the shadows. They just don't look quite right. They move really unnatural, and they kind of have that edge to everything, which is kind of a bummer in my opinion. I don't like how you can see it just kind of pop in and out and in and out. They could probably refine it a little better and be a lot nicer shader for a low-end PC user. My old PC played these shaders really good. But these are the shaders I kind of wanted the upgrade for on my PC the most. These are, they're very, very cinematic, very, very detailed. And these are the Silder shaders. As you can see, the nice shadowing effect even has the outside focus on your skins and everything. And then the water looks pretty plain until you get down to it, and then it just looks remarkable. It has the full reflection values and everything, and I love how the wave effect carries that nice little ripple through. Makes all the extra light bouncing off and the reflections even much more cooler. But let's see here. We'll try this one out in the cave system. I think it was over here somewhere. Yeah, and this was kind of neat, having the lush desert right by this little snow biome, this taiga too. It's kind of a neat little feature. And I think I've been kind of going around the area. See if I can find that cave system again. There's like this little entrance to it, or this giant gaping hole. I must be blind. That one doesn't really go into the cave structure though. Let's try to look around a little more and find an entrance to it. Here we go. This is the entrance I was using for testing these out with. And the ice looks nice and clear. It's got its own little reflections too. That's a very unique feature of this shader. I believe it's one of the only shaders right now that has the reflective ice like that. And it's wonderful. So let's go ahead and try to get somewhere dark here. And the creepers, they glow themselves, which is really neat. The mobs actually have special lighting for the shaders. And if we could get him to blow up, he won't because I'm in creative, but he'll actually glow red when he gets ready to explode. And the lighting, these silver shaders are really, really neat. As you can see, you can just drop a torch and it'll natural light all the way down. There's a little legginess to it, but it's not too bad. At least you have the ability to do that, which is amazing. As you can see, the light from the torch on this shader pack is nice. It's refined. It's a little bright. As you get close to the items, you can see that reflective that's put into everything. Is a really nice feature of this shader pack. So out of all of them, I would have to say that the Silders is the best. Let's go ahead and turn on the max with the depth of field, which is always cool. So you can see I can go outside here real quick. You'll get a little better depth of field to it. As you can see, the sun you can actually see. It's nice and clear. There's no little ellipticals around it or anything, but it's really neat. And there's some awesome features when the moonrise starts coming up here. I'm going to get down low on the ground, and you'll be able to see that the actual moonlight will shadow through and show some special effect. And with this mod pack I have installed right now, it has a night version that makes it a true black night. So whatever moonlight is cast, there it is. So this is night in the shader pack. You kind of have to rely on using your torch values to keep you going, which is a wonderful feature for photorealistic play. And there's that moon, it's coming up. The reflection's messing up a little bit through the mountain, but let's try to center it with this tree up here. As you can see, the lighting starting to flow in. Starting to get these nice little rays going. I'm actually going to go to the no depth of field. They pop up a little better. And the beautiful sunsets now. They fade in and out with where you're directionally looking, which is a really neat feature. But as you can see, the rays of light will actually protrude through and around objects. It should be coming up a little farther here. Yeah. See how you get that nice little effect going on? It's getting darker, and there's some Endermen over there. Nice bright eyes you can see for a distance. They should be there. They're glowing in the game, so. And there's that beautiful moonlight. And these little details make or break shader packs. I'm going to try to quickly cycle through some here. Let's see if the Seuss does it. Nope, it's just the Seuss is actually a pretty cool one. You still get your full night visibility, which is really neat. And a nice glowing moon. And with the clouds, again, if they could get these clouds in the Silders, it would be wonderful. And all the natural lighting has really cool glow effects. So you can see from these Endermen here. Let's punch one. And they actually flash red there, which is really neat. Spiders also glow. Let's try one of these Dr. Druids. I just found these. Let's try the Ultra, is usually pretty good. Yeah. And then you see each shader pack kind of has its own little fill in the nighttime, which adds a lot of really neat depth to the game when adventuring, and well, it makes the game a lot more scary in my opinion, being so dark. So you can see just normal pixel moon though. Nothing special with those. And I believe one of these has a special moon attached. Can't remember quite which one. See if we can find it here. No, these are all pretty much standard. Yeah, so the Silders actually, I really like it because you can see the radiant light from the sources like the sun and the moon. So if you get a nice little focus there, it's really neat effect. But as you can see from the ground, it is very dark with the Silders. And I got the blood turned on, which is a neat little realistic effect going on. And here's the rain. Perfect timing actually. I was going to have to toggle this. As you can see, the rain effects, they look alright with the Silders. Not the best in the world. Let's go ahead and try some of these other shaders while it's raining here. As you can see, the Seuss, it's the most, they're going for the most realistic look with the Seuss. But it adds a nice little depth of field fog. And with the motion blur, it looks awfully nice. And as you can see, it's raining, so it clouded up and you can no longer visibly see the moon. And it actually looks like it gets a little bit darker too, which is really neat. I wish you could actually see the rainfall, but that's okay. And Mr. Meep, this one's supposed to have some of the nicest rain effects here. So let me turn that down just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, but as you can see, the rain is cool. It's like, even as you fall with it, the pixels are true to their own depth of field and falling. And then the Dr. Dreads, it's just pretty much standard. I mean, yeah, it's rain. It doesn't look very pretty. So, my final overall review, if you're going for the natural look, definitely use the Seuss. It gives you a nice little perception of everything. But if you want a nice little play environment, I would definitely recommend the Silders. It really makes the downfall look like a true downfall here. Lots of rain, and as in any rainstorm, it would make it hard to see. And here's some snow actually, so let's try to test these out while it's going too. As you can see, the Ultra, or the Seuss I should say, it actually doesn't have any of the snow effect either, which is kind of a disappointment. Let's see if the Mr. Meep has it. It sure does. And look at this snow. That's some really nice blizzard effect almost. I'm really digging the snow in this one. It's just, the particles are everywhere and they kind of have a nice little random movement to them. So let's go ahead and go back to the regular. As you can see, it's so dark with this shader especially. And I believe I can actually change the quality. Let's get some better snow going. And turn up our default on it too. And here's the fancy snow. This full on, can't see an inch in front of you, just like a traditional blizzard would be. And here's the Seuss again, no snow, which is kind of a bummer. Neat little effect with the spiders though. I really like the lighting glow around all the Seuss shaders. As you can see, this village looks absolutely phenomenal with the Seuss shaders. Whereas the Silders shaders don't really, they have the standard glow that comes with the GSL shader glide. Some zombies trying to break in and kill our villagers here. So some really neat looking effects. Let's make it morning again. And so as you can see with the daytime, the Silder shaders actually look pretty good with the rain effects and everything. There's some little striation, like these little lines here you can see. And all that's going to be worked out when they update it. It's going to be, that'll be the next step, is making all this little detail stuff looks oh so special. Well, that's about it though, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. A lot different than what you're normally used to from me, but I figured I'd play around with some shaders and figure out which ones I like and which ones I would like to play with.